budget cap. Sharon Meieran is back. She's taking another run at becoming Multnomah County Chair. A physician by trade, Dr. Meieran represented Multnomah County's 1st district on the commission from 2017 to 2025. She narrowly lost in a runoff in the 2022 race for county chair against the outgoing chair Jessica Vega Peterson, who decided not to run again. Meieran now joins current Multnomah County Commissioners Julia Brim Edwards and Shannon Singleton in the race for the chair this November. Sharon Meieran, welcome back to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Well, when you left the commission, you said you had no plans to run for county chair again. What changed your mind?
Well, I don't know if you've stepped outside in Portland or Multnomah County lately, but the county is basically failing in its core services. So that's mental health and addiction care, homeless services, public safety that's tied to all of those things. Things are getting worse. It feels like literally the wheels are coming off the bus. No one's driving the bus and we're all the passengers. And it's because we do not have a plan. I have spent the last year creating a plan, and someone needs to do it. And if not me, who? Not the current candidates. And so I'm stepping into the race.
One of the criticisms of the Multnomah County Commission has been not being able to create the backlog of services, especially in mental health and drug addiction, that the city really needs to deal with now, especially related to the homeless issue. So what is your plan?
Yeah, well, that is at the center of so much relating to homelessness and relating to public safety. So and the county, by the way, is the local mental health authority. So the county is solely responsible for ensuring we have that full array of services for the people of our county. And it has failed in delivering that, which is why that's something I've worked on for forever. Trying to turn that around. At the county, the chair has the power to do that. And what I have proposed in my plan is a fully baked, step-by-step way that we can transition for service, basically a complete lack of services, to a fully integrated service model that addresses treatment for addiction and mental illness, that gets people from point A to point B, that meets them where they're at, and that delivers those services so that people are not ending up on the streets. And if they do end up on the streets, they have somewhere to go.
So a pathway to services.
It's a complete pathway to services with the transitions that are so important, that aren't the revolving doors we see right now where people just enter. Maybe they get one thing and then they just end up back on the street, sort of like what our so-called deflection center does in Multnomah County.
Part of the issue with that is just accountability, being able to track the progress of people who are going through those programs. So
yes.
what's your solution to that?
So I've outlined it fully if people want to go to my website. This one is fix-multnomah.com. It's been up for 6 months now, and it gives you the blow-by-blow. So I'm not going to go into those details.
Sure, because we wouldn't have time to get through them all. Yeah.
But when I was on the board, I was the one commissioner saying we should not be pushing this deflection plan. It's a waste of money. It doesn't get people treated. And the reason for all of those failures ties into the bigger picture of what's wrong. It is that the county does not, it doesn't measure what matters for outcomes. So they don't really care if people get treatment. They're not measuring for people to go in, complete treatment, and get to the next step and what's needed. What they do is measure whether people get referrals to some very vague services. And if they meet that, if they get a referral, someone goes to the deflection center, gets a piece of paper saying, go to a shelter or a food bank, they check that as success. What I check as success in my plan is that people in need of treatment they wouldn't go to the deflection center. That is a waste of money and time. But they would get the referral to services. They would be transported to those services that would exist that don't now in the county. They would get treated and through the services, and they would get to recovery housing and be supported ongoing so that we know that what we're doing is working. Measuring that and having those outcomes and being accountable for those, we lack all of those currently in our county.
You're known for your in-your-face style. Your verbal battles with Chair Jessica Vega Peterson are legendary. Here's an exchange from 2023 as the commission discussed the chair's proposal on how to spend housing funds for Metro and the feds. Take a listen to this.
This proposal doesn't solve problems. It's not trackable, holds no one accountable, does move the pile of money away before our next meeting where we're going to discuss the next pile of money.
Commissioner Meieran, you are very out of line in impugning the motives of our partners, our staff, and the members of this board.
Now, before people think we just cherry-picked that was just one of many examples we could have chosen. So
Yes.
Would you maintain that style as chair?
So I'm not sure what in the style that is objectionable, because that was speaking the truth then. It is speaking the truth. It is still the truth. And we now have hindsight to recognize that everything that I said then was accurate. And so I guess what I would say is that those saying that I had some style that was objectionable, it came from the chair's office mainly. I would say that and that is a political commentary. I'm not sure, again, what I did there that was objectionable. It was calling out what was wrong. And I think that's what we need in a leader. And it's what's missing in leadership now, including the two current candidates who are running, who are sort of playing the game of the status quo. I say things that are true. I will speak the truth to the people of our county, which is who I'm running for. I will absolutely continue to do that, but it is toward an end of getting results that support the people of our county. So it's a yes and no.
Well, Multnomah County just approved a $4 billion budget with big cuts to most departments, including homeless services and offices, including the district attorney. Listen to what DA Nathan Vasquez recently had to say about this final budget.
Yes.
The county doubled down on failed programs and decided to defund, I want to make sure we heard that correct, defunded the district attorney's office in a way that is wildly out of step with this community's values.
Do you agree with that?
So I have two comments on that. Number one, I believe that the district attorney's office needs to be significantly more funded, and that the district attorney should be able to tell us what they need in order to provide safety services for our county. So yes. The thing that I am saying with our current budget that I said when I was the first one ever to vote no on a budget because it was not tying money to outcomes or accountable for results is that the process needs to be changed for our budget. What our process results in are individual programs that you can fund or not fund without a process of coming together to say, actually, what are we trying to achieve with this budget in the first place? How are we working with the DA to get him what he needs? And I do agree with what he's saying we need. How do we achieve that and then figure out how to fund it, working backward from what we need to do in a real budget? So I'm the only one that said ever tie funding and money to results so that we get what we're trying to deliver, and that we need to start with a zero-based budget and say, what do we actually need? What are our goals writ large before we're actually just throwing money at it and not accounting for it?
Dr. Sharon Meieran, appreciate you being on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to be here and having these conversations.
Thank you. Next, a rematch in the race for Oregon's 4th Congressional District. Republican attorney and Air Force veteran Monique Despain again looking to unseat incumbent Democrat Val Hoyle. Why she's calling for a federal investigation into her opponent and why she thinks she can turn